Imagine an entire army that never fired a single shot, an army that didn't even exist. In 1944, the Nazis spotted the impossible, an entire American battalion on the move. But this was no ordinary army. World War II was raging, and the US Army needed an edge. So they pulled together an unlikely group of heroes, artists, sound engineers, actors. Yep, the same folks who made Hollywood movies were about to make history on a real battlefield. It was called the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, 500 men tasked with creating the illusion of a 30,000-strong army. They had it all: rubber tanks, fake artillery, even sound effects to mimic marching soldiers and roaring tanks. The stakes were sky high. One slip up, and the Germans would uncover the truth. But instead, the enemy was thrown into chaos, chasing shadows all over Europe. The Ghost Army even staged bar conversations, leaking fake plans. The best part, they didn't do this once or twice, but 21 times across Europe, each deception crazier and bolder than the last. March 1945. The Rhine River is the last major barrier, standing between the Allied forces and the heart of Germany. Hitler's troops are dug in, watching the horizon, waiting for the American assault. Then, the Ghost Army is called in for its most dangerous mission yet. Make the Germans believe an entire division is stationed along the Rhine, just a mile from enemy lines. One wrong move, one scout noticing that the tanks aren't real, and the entire illusion shatters. They're so close that even a misplaced shadow could betray them. To complete the deception, they crank up the sound of marching boots, rolling tanks, and even bursts of radio chatter. Every detail has to be perfect. The Ghost Army knows the risks. One misstep could lead to disaster, not just for them, but for thousands of Allied soldiers counting on this ruse. The wind picks up. An inflatable tank almost slips out of place. It takes every ounce of courage to stay calm, to keep the illusion intact. This isn't a battlefield for bullets and bombs. It's a battlefield for nerves and deception. But somehow, against all odds, they pull it off. The Germans fall for the ruse, keeping their forces in place, giving the real Allied division the time they need to cross the Rhine elsewhere. In the end, these unsung artists and actors saved an estimated 30,000 American lives. For half a century, they couldn't tell anyone, not even their own families. So, next time you hear about World War III, remember, sometimes the greatest warriors carry paintbrushes, not guns.